So I'm just going to show you how to work out the area of a semicircle, a circle, and also an area of a sector. Now, a sector, as this little sticker here shows, is like a part of a circle. This kind of part where you essentially start from the center, and it's like chopping a pie. Doing a slice of pie or something. That would be a sector. Okay. So we're going to slowly work up to that. Let's start off with the area of an entire circle. It's just the number pi, which you can get on your calculator, multiplied by the radius squared. Now, if they give you the diameter, you just divide it by 2 to find out the radius. The diameter is 2 times the radius. And so the radius is 5. So it's 5 pi times 5 squared. Don't forget to square the radius. You first wrote this pi times 5 squared. Its radius is squared, okay? So we've got that. We did an identical one. You forgot to put the unit there. Don't forget the unit. You'll lose 1 mark if you write the unit, okay? You won't. It's not the end of the world if you forget to write the unit. You still get most of the marks, but you will lose a mark if they don't give you the unit and you've not put it there. Now, the area of the semicircle, so many people struggle with this, but it's really, really simple once you get it. It's so simple that once you get it, but so many people seem to get a block with it. And I don't, so if you do get a block, don't worry, but just eventually it'll click and you'll go, oh, that's easy. You just take the full circle, you divide it by 2. If the area of the entire circle is this, and the semicircle is just half of a circle, then you just take that full area and you divide it by 2. Okay, it's all it is. There's no other trick to it. It's half a circle. So for example, in this case, we've worked out the area of the whole circle. Now, if I wanted to, if I didn't give you that first exercise, and instead I just said, what's the area of this semicircle? And so let's say that was 5 centimeters. Let's think about what we would do. We would basically imagine what is the area of the whole circle, and then we'd work that out, and then we divide it by 2. It's just the same as what we did before. So we just have to kind of give ourselves the first exercise. So we say, so the area of whole circle or complete circle is going to be pi times, not 5 squared, but half of 5, 2.5 squared. So the radius is 2.5, so it's pi times 2.5. And don't forget to square the radius. So we've got to half it and we've got to square it. So just, if it helps, do that bit in, half in bits. So radius is going to be half of times 5, which is 2.5. And now we have the radius centimeters. So then we just tap it into our calculator. 2.5 squared. I did it the way around, but never mind. So 2.5. Oh, do that again. No, 2.5 squared times pi. And that gives me 19.63. Let's just leave it at that, centimeters squared. That's the area of the whole circle. We want the semicircle. So what do? We divide that by 2. So semicircle area is going to equal to this number here divided by 2. So on my calculator, just put answer, divide by 2. And it gives me 9.882 centimeters squared. Okay. Now I could have done that in a slightly quicker way. I could have just said the area of semicircle is going to be half times pi r squared. So I could just, because it's just going to be this pi r squared is the area of the circle, so it's just half of that, and then I could just make the whole process a tiny bit quicker. So half times pi times 2.5 squared, and I'd get the same answer. I'd still get 9.82 centimeters squared. So that's all there is to areas of semicircles. We could look at diameters of semicircle, and when we do, we have to just remember to take the diameter of the whole circle and then half it. But then we also have to remember to add this bit at the bottom, because that's part of the perimeter of a semicircle. Let's stick with areas for the moment, though, and I want to look at sectors as well. So, if we think about it, let's imagine that. So I've got this. Okay, hang on. Let's make it this color this time. Let's say I've got this full circle, and we're going to take a slice out of it, and we want to work out the area of that slice. Well, what we can do is, so I'll show you. Let's say if that's the center, and then if I do, oh, okay, that didn't. Oh, this line tool is so irritating sometimes. Okay, what's going on? What? Why is it not deleting? Okay, hang on. Okay, so let's imagine the sector is just quarter of a circle. Well, if it's quarter of a circle, just like with the semicircle, we divided the area of the full circle by 2. Now we would just divide the area of the full circle by 4, because it's quarter of a circle. And if it's an eighth of a circle, let's say that's an eighth of a circle, then of course we take the area of the full circle and divide it by 8. Now, if we don't know what the fraction of the circle is, but we get given an angle like this, let's say that's 45 degrees, we can use that angle to work out what fraction of the circle that bit is, right? If it was 180 degrees, then we're looking at half the circle. If it's 90 degrees, we're looking at a quarter of the circle. If it's 45 degrees, we're looking at 1/8 of the circle. But if it's like a weirder, more irritating angle, like 30 degrees, then we need to know, well, what fraction of the circle is that? Why is 90 degrees quarter of a circle? Because the whole circle is 360 degrees. And if we've got 90 degrees of that 360 degrees, if you do 90 divided by 360, you get a quarter. If you do 180 divided by 360 degrees, you get a half. If you do 30 degrees divided by 360 degrees, I think you'll find that you get, hang on a second, I think it's a 12th, but now I'm getting a bit, yeah, I think it's a 12th, isn't it? 30 divided by 360. Yeah, you get 1/12. So this is 1/12 of the area of the circle. So if I wanted to work out the area of this little bit here, then I would just do 1/12, I keep missing the 1, times by pi r squared. Now, if we don't know what the radius is, so we can work out, if we get told that the radius is 5 centimeters, then we just multiply it by 5 squared. Okay, and if you don't get told the radius, you just need to work out, is there a way that I can work out what the radius is? Okay. To work out what the fraction of the circle is, you just take this angle here and you divide it by 360. That's what I've done with each of these 3 cases. So I'm going to ask you to have a quick go at some of these questions. I'll put them on the board in a moment. This is only semicircle and a quarter circle. I'd like to make it a tiny bit more challenging. Yeah. So this is area of a sector. So straight away they've jumped into angles. Now, I might give you this one, and you could have a go at a couple of these, and then you could, if you want to, and then I would like you to focus on this one really, because I think you're going to be able to. You might need a little bit of practice doing this, but I'd like to just see how you get on with the angle. With this one here, this could catch you out. You go, hang on a second, it's not. They've given the slice away, and I've got to work out what's left, but they don't have the angle there. It shouldn't. It's just basically you've just got a big slice, right? So it's just 290 divided by 360. Again, that gives you the fraction of the circle. It just means that just because it's more than a half, shouldn't let that trip you up. So it's if there's one missing, then well, think about what you might do in this situation. And then we've got some algebra where we have to do it in backwards, and then just see how you get on with that. Okay. We've got more complicated looking ones down here, slightly more scary, but you'll as you go through, you'll start to looks even more scary there. As you go through, you'll start to get the hang of it, probably. If you don't, no big deal. We will work it together. And we're just going to, with each one of these topics, we're just going to see how advanced we can get. And then we're going to move on to the next topic. But I would like you to give this a good go. I'm relatively optimistic. But like I said, a lot of people kind of hit a wall with this topic. And when they get over the wall, they go, oh, that's easy. And it is once you get it. So I'll just put that like that. And I'll stop the video, and then I'll set you that for your homework. Okay.